feeling like you're lost, that you've no hope.
Feel alone, confused.
The level of stress is extremely high.
So then they take drugs or get drunk just to blank stuff out.
The average age of death is 45.
There's not a person out there that wants to be sitting at the side of a road asking for money.
Anyone can be homeless. I've met 50-year-old men that have just been divorced with a wife and lost everything, you know, and they're on streets.
It's not a lifestyle choice, and it's not somebody's fault.
Everyone's only 2 paychecks away from homelessness.
Destitute.
I really would not wish that on anybody.
But knowing that there's someone you can turn to, it's important for people to know that they're not alone.
This restaurant, right here, apparently someone's been sleeping on the stairs there.
It's a bit of a funny one in the sense of Harrogate itself is quite an affluent town. There's homelessness every place you go. However, it can be quite hidden. I think people are quite surprised to hear that we even have any homeless people in Harrogate.
Here is where people used to sleep, right there. Got a bit of shelter, haven't they, away from the rain and the cold. That's where some people have slept.
My name's Charlotte Fortune and I am the hostel service manager at the Harrogate Homeless Project. What we do, basically, we support anyone who is homeless, who is vulnerably housed, who has maybe been homeless in the past or are at risk of becoming homeless, and we work to support them to move away from the streets into secure and settled accommodation that can hopefully be kind of their forever home or make steps towards having that.
This spot was a mini camping village. Couples and bikes and stuff. Sheltered again against the weather. Harrogate Homeless Project helped them get off the streets, all of them.
We do have quite a serious homeless problem in Harrogate. We can have between 40 to 50 people accessing our day centre Springboard at any one day, basically.
The Springboard Day Centre provides support to homeless and vulnerably housed individuals. Food, showers, laundry facilities, a drop-in GP surgery, access to a computer, and friendly faces.
Well, I'm the Springboard premises assistant, responsible for fire risk, cleaning, anything they need me to do, I can do it. I'm the go-to guy. If you need to find something, then they can know where it is. Quickest tour of Harrogate you've ever had. Here we go, it's safe to cross. Oh, we're nearly there. Not far away at all now. Just down here. See where that fencing is? I used to sleep here when it was totally overgrown. That's where I used to sleep. It was just all hedges. Nobody could see me. That was one of the lowest points of my life I've ever had. Originally, what led to me being homeless was death of my mother, losing my flat. I did stay with family, we fell out, stayed with friends, and then I ended up here. One time, I was in 10 years, someone urinated, and I went, "Oi!" They jumped out of my skin, then they give me a beer. Hey, I've come a long way since then. In my old flat on King's Road, self-contained. Making sure I keep that roof over my head. I'm not going back to sleeping in places like this and that. No way. That's never going to happen.
Derek lived on the streets for 2 years. That was 12 years ago. He is now living in his own flat.
It'd be good to get you out on your bike though, when it's a bit sunny.
Yeah.
So you're thinking about that? Well, that'll be good. I'm Dr. Jo Shacklock, I'm a GP and I run the Homeless Health Clinic here in Harrogate. There's lots of undiagnosed health problems in this community, so things like undiagnosed heart disease, undiagnosed asthma. Over the winter period, for example, we'll see a lot of respiratory infections, lots of feet problems as well. So if you can imagine, if you're particularly in the wet and cold weather, if you're out on the streets all day and your feet are just constantly wet, there's a lot of problems with that we see. Injuries from violence we deal with a lot as well. It's not uncommon for us to be seeing someone who's been beaten up because of a drug debt or being beaten up by a member of the public. Probably the biggest thing we see is mental health problems, though. That is the biggest they pretty much all have.
We went to see Nana in Knaresborough. So there's some flowers and a big bag of presents. And as we left, she was waving.
Building relationships is fundamental to the work that we do here. They're often very distrustful of professionals because they've had very bad experience in the past or they feel they've not been listened to.
Is she in a care home then, is she?
Yeah.
So who's Nana? Is that yours, Kate, or is that yours?
No.
It's yours, yeah.
One of the things that we have here is time.
The kind of things that give rise to periods of homelessness will be a sense of isolation and separation from the sorts of support that we're often reliant upon. My name's Nick. I'm the counsellor psychotherapist for Harrogate Homeless Project.
I'm Joanne Darville. I became homeless because my partner died and the house wasn't left to me. I was treated quite bad by my partner's family. They wanted me out of the house. That was it, I was destitute. I was very low. I was extremely bad. And I thought, well, I'm not going to survive on the streets. So I thought, I've got to do this. I went into the hostel and I said, look, they've told me to come here. And that was it.
Housing, a warm home, food, all of these kind of things are the most important factors. What we find, however, is without trying to offer the conditions for someone to begin to explore why they find themselves in this situation, perhaps how cycles have repeated over time, then what we find is that kind of repetition will continue.
Nick has brought me, it brings out things that I wouldn't have even mentioned to anyone. He's making me change that I am not the stupid person that I think I am, because I went into alcohol, obviously, and I know that I'm not that person, that horrible nutter. But I sometimes go back in the alcohol and Nick tries to bring me out, just says, why are you doing it? And I said, I don't really know sometimes. I just think I'm no good. So he helps me a lot with that. Can make me cry now. I wouldn't have been anything without them.
Jo now lives in her own flat and has a job.
Nick, he has long hair. It looks like meatloaf. I told him that. I said, do you like meatloaf? Because you look like him. He'll kill me if you put that in.
The Harrogate Homeless Project helps people in a number of ways. Springboard is the drop-in centre where people can get support, eat, get clean, and wash their clothes.
Good afternoon, Harrogate Project. Sheena speaking. How can I help?
A few streets away is the hostel, where if you are homeless, you may be allocated your own room.
We offer a single room with a bed and a sink and a wardrobe and things like that, and a support worker. And your support worker, you would meet with them once or twice a week just to discuss what your situation is currently and to help. My name is Sheena Jackson. I'm a support worker at Harrogate Homeless Project and I've been in post for about 2 years now. I'm going to show you one of the bedrooms. There's single rooms with a single bed and a wardrobe and a sink. Margarita, our lovely housekeeper, sets the room up for them as best you can with what we've got donated, so they always get a towel and some toiletries and whatnot left on the bed for them. If they've been rough sleeping, it can often just be, oh, I've got a bed for the night. It's that lovely thing of having your own bed, your own roof, your own room, your own space. They make it their own. They'll put pictures up on the wall, maybe they'll have pictures of their children or their family or their friends. It helps them to feel at home, you know, so helps them to settle a bit. We get people from their late teens into their 20s, 30s, 40s. The oldest client that I've got is 59. If you end up on the street, a lot of people are at rock bottom. They are really struggling, utter bewilderment and hopelessness. They often don't know quite where to turn or how to access the help that they need, which is where we come in. They can stay in hostel generally for up to 2 years. Sometimes it's a little longer, sometimes it's a short stay. Anyone can wind up in that situation, you know. It's that thing of everyone's only 2 paychecks away from homelessness, and it's very true. A few years ago, through no fault of my own, I was faced with homelessness. I couldn't get my head around the idea that I was not going to have a home, for a roof over my head for me and my children. And as it turned out, I had the resources to remedy the situation myself, but not everyone's that lucky.
My name's Brash and I've been using Springboard for about 8 years. Well, my mum died when I was 14 and I was passed about with family and friends and stuff till I was about 17. And then I've just been in and out of hostels till I was about 21.
My name is Philip Robinson. This place has helped me so much, just through everything, you know. They put me back on my feet. They give me self-respect, you know. Well, I became homeless when my mother became very ill and died. You don't realise you're on the street until you wake up and you haven't got anybody, you haven't got anything. I had no money and I didn't know where to go.
I lived in woods for 5 years. I built a fireplace out of stone and clay. I built a teepee once, but I prefer to have a hammock and a tarp rather than a tent. People used to say, like, oh, I bet you hate it in winter, but I used to like it in winter because then no one would come through the woods. So it was quiet, and I was there for 5 years.
When I volunteered and I did the garden for Springboard, I realised I was quite good at gardening. They showed me my skills, what I've got. You know, I did the garden and I got awards for it.
We won silver and gold with the Harrogate in Bloom. Me and Philip have been sorting out and hopefully we'll win a gold again. That's the aim.
As HHP's clients start to turn their lives around, they can be offered a place in a moving on house or flat. There are 11 such spaces in Harrogate.
My name's Josh Boyce and I've had support on the Harrogate Homeless Project. So this is a flat that I've managed to turn into my own home. So thinking here I've worked hard for and paid for myself. Bit of a mess, but it's a lad's pad in it. I'll show you down the long, spooky corridor. I fell in the wrong crowd. I've done bad things, like nick cars and stuff, made me go to jail. Spent 17 months there, but I lost my job. I lost my girlfriend. I lived in Wales for 17 years, so got arrested and moved down to Harrogate. And then I thought, right, I can start again, but it's not that easy. I got through the council, put on a waiting list. I was living with my brother at the time during then, but then his landlord realised what I was doing there and kicked me out. So then that's when I became homeless. Sat outside for 5 days straight thinking, what am I going to do? And I remembered walking past Harrogate Homeless Project and I thought, it's embarrassing walking through there. You don't want to be seen walking through there, but I thought, nah, if I want to sort myself out, that's one place you've got to try. That's my bedroom. I think my main pride and joy has got to be the men with foam mattress. Oh, yeah, so yeah, look how thick that is. That's how it feels. But yeah, you got a cracking view outside as well, so you can't go wrong for that. But I spent like 2-3 months in there, and then I got asked if I wanted to move into one of these temporary accommodation flats because I could look after myself. I learned to look after myself. I've got a full-time job now, like good pay. It's mucky now, but when I brought that brand spanking new, I think that was the point where I've earned that. And that's like my pride and joy. Pay your bills, pay your rent, working, not causing any trouble, just get on with life. Yeah, I've never had my own place, so I think that's why I can take pride in it. I'm still in this flat now a year later, doing really well. Got myself a stable job, stable flat. The world's my oyster, pretty much.
My name's Mikey, and I'm a support assistant. I mainly do the mornings at Springboard and the afternoons at the hostel, and then pop down to the move-on houses when I can. Supporting the move-on clients who are maybe a little bit more independent, but still need checking in occasionally.
College is going really well. Really liking it.
Yeah.
I also got sorted my bus fare out as well with the college. So the college is paying for me bus fare now. So.
Was that through the bursary?
Yeah, because it was costing me £60 a month. My name is Christopher O'Reilly. Obviously, you can hear from my thick Dublin accent. I'm from the inner city of Dublin.
Chris is living in one of the move-on houses, a 3-bedroom shared accommodation, and I think he's been in there for about 2 months.
I've been taking drugs on and off since a young, early age, 15 years of age. And I went to a treatment centre. I got myself clean from all substances. I was clean for roughly 3 to 4 years, and then I went back on the drugs. I went into another treatment centre, and when I came out of that place, I had nowhere to go. So I ended up in the homeless shelter. This is my room here, as you can see, room 1. This is my room here. It's quite bright, it's nice. Comfy bed.
He's doing great. He's big into his DIY, much better than I am. And he's been fixing up the place, doing painting and decorating, so I couldn't ask for more, really.
We had got a leak in the roof, so I took down this plasterboard over here. It was quite bad. It just needs to be sanded out now and painted over. I know it looks a bit rough at the moment, but once you put the finishing touches to it, you'll never even notice that it was ever there, do you know what I mean? Since I'm in this house, a lot of things have really gone good for me. This is my girlfriend here. I have dyslexic, I can't read and write, so they're getting me a diagnosis for that. I'm in college at the moment doing plastering, which is something that I've always wanted to do on top of the painting and decorating, because the two of them come hand in hand, so yeah.
The homeless of Harrogate need our help.
Donations do give clients a sense of hope and do give them that feeling that there are people out there that care, that they're not going to be forgotten, and that they matter, and I think that's really important.
Helping people, getting them on the right path, and then they can start to open themselves a bit.
Makes you feel warm inside, kind of thing, to know that someone is doing well.
Now when you've got a place like this, you feel more confident with yourself. And once you get like little things like a lamp, and once you see it all coming together, it gives you that motivation to keep carrying on.
I'm volunteering at the moment in cancer research, and that 2 days a week.
I'd love to live like on a farm and grow my own fruit and vegetables and rear my own animals and that.
I am going to try get a house that is run down and then build it back to something.
This place has done wonders, you know. It needs to keep doing them wonders.
Without funding, these projects don't exist, and the most vulnerable members of our society do not have the support and help that they need.
We rely heavily on donations from members of the public and from small grants from different organisations.
Them donations can actually change people's lives. They've changed my life.
Without the project, we would see homelessness increase, and we just can't let that happen.
Please donate. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just whatever you can spare. It would be really, really appreciated.
If you are able to help us, please visit harrogate-homeless-project.org.uk.